Hi everyone, it's Jenny here from Angel Handmade Papercraft. Today I am working with Heartcraft Paper and I am working with the rose image. So here's a quick preview of what I am making. Let's get started. So I printed out two of the rose images onto Mondi Color Copy. I resized them in Microsoft Word just to make sure that they were the right size for my bookmarks. And I have just ran through the My Favorite Things tall tag duo through my Gemini machine, and now I have these Disney bell stamps which I purchased recently, and I thought they would be perfect for this image. So that's what I'm going to do with those. I'm just sizing them up to make sure that the right sentiment will fit where I want it to go. And there's also these gorgeous little stars in the stamp set, so I'm just going to use those to embellish the rose. So I'm using My Favorite Things hybrid ink in the black licorice to stamp my sentiments and little stars today. That is a Copic safe ink, and it is also nice and crisp for sentiments and little tiny stars. So I'm just going to stamp that up. I've adhered them to a Lawn Fawn acrylic block. Just cleaning up my tag there to make sure that it's all nice and clean. Stamping that down, making sure I press nice and hard. Popping on some of those little tiny star images. Now I did work on both of the tags to start with, and then I decided just to video the one. I thought it would be a bit easier for you guys. That way I'm not swapping and changing between the two. So working on the second sentiment there. And adding the little stars on to embellish. Looking beautiful. I was worried that I went a little bit far, but when you see the finished product, it does look quite nice. And I just added two of the little bows to the stems of the roses, just so it would be a cute little add-on. So just cleaning up all of my stamps, popping my ink away before I end up with it on anything, and then I will begin with the Copic colouring. So I'm using R35, R37 and R39 for the rose. So this little area here, I normally do lay down a coat of the R35 first and then go darkest to lightest, but for some reason just on this area here I didn't do that. So just working my way through on each of the petals of the rose. So here I am here laying down the lightest colour first, and then I go darkest to lightest. It makes it a little bit easier just to blend the Copic markers. And then I'm just using a flicking motion and pulling the colour from the darkest to the lightest. And then grabbing the R35 again and pulling all of that colour out. So just working petal by petal. I did start doing one petal on each one, and then I decided that it was going to be too hard and too confusing for you guys, so I didn't do any more on that left hand image and just worked on the right hand one. So this was a small area here, so I did go with just by starting with the darkest colour first, just so that that red marker didn't bleed too much. And then I fell out of my comfort zone and started doing the same thing here, which made it a little bit harder to blend, and I had to work a little bit harder to get that to where I needed it to be. And I'm doing it again. Not sure what's going on in my head at the moment. Norm is completely out of it at the moment. So just working my way down from darkest to lightest, using the lightest colour to pull all of those colours together. So here I am here, starting with the R35, laying down that coat, and then going to the R39, down to the R37, and then back to the R35 to blend it all out. And for those of you worried about your Copic markers drying out in the process, it didn't actually take me that long to colour this image. So for that short period of time, it was okay to leave the lids off. They're perfectly fine. So here I am just working on the center bud of the rose. And now I'm going on to the next area, colouring the R35, going in with the R39, just adding in all of the darkest shadow areas, and then back to the R37, laying down a quick border of that, and back to the R35 to blend it all out. So then again, moving on to the next area and doing the same thing. Or not doing the same thing, going back out of my comfort zone and going with that R39 first. So again, had to work a little bit harder to get that to blend, but it all turned out in the end. I think my head's just all over the shop at the moment. Alright, moving on to my G's. So I'm using G40, G43 and then G99 for the darkest areas. So I'm just going through colouring all the green areas with the G40, and then I will go from darkest to lightest. So just going in with the G99 here, laying down a quick coat in what would be the darkest areas. Alright, and just doing the last little leaf there. And then I will go to my G43, pulling that darkest colour out all the way through. It did take a little bit of work getting, especially with that leaf, because of the darker areas. The G43 does have quite a lot more saturation than what the G99 does. But again, we got there in the end. It's actually a new green combo for me. It's not something that I have used before, but I was quite happy with it. So then down to my G40 to blend all of those colours out. Making sure it's all nice and blended, and then I'm just going to go in with my Signo Uni-ball White Angelic Gel Pen just to add a few little details onto this one. I didn't actually end up doing it on the second image. It was mainly just this one, and then I'm just using my finger very gently, just tapping it, just so that it wasn't too bright. It was just a nice shadow. And then I am going up and doing the little book on the right hand corner with the sentiment. I wanted to make sure that that was coloured as well. So I'm just using the reds and the green to colour the little rose. And then I'm going to grab my yellow marker, I think it was Y21, my E42, my E47 and my E35 markers just to do that book. So just working my way through all of those. It is only a very small area, so it didn't take too long. So that was the Copic colouring. I hope you guys have enjoyed today. I did add some ribbon to the top. I didn't actually record it. And then in the end I kept looking at it and I decided to add some Tonic Studios Nouveau crystal drops in the autumn red. So thank you guys very much for watching with me today. Hope you enjoyed my video. Bye.